We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, continuing to fight and hold support here and test key resistance levels. And in today's volatility, our SPY bot at 9:25 a.m. sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength on 42 vision, and call options went up 120% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, continuing to fight and hold support. And in today's video, we're going to break down some key levels I'd watch going into tomorrow. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity I was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run day was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot sent out a bear indicator at 9:35 a.m. and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside, pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 150% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. Here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, continuing to do a full transition from the dip area to multiple rip areas in the last 3 trading days. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY stock, the SP 500 index, under a bull indicator here since last Friday at the 541 level, breaking out from this tight consolidation here between 538 and 543. We talked about how that was a key resistance above that 545, and then came 547, and today it's been fighting to push away from it to retest new highs, right? You see it here in the after hours as we see it pushing up towards 548.90, trying to hit that 549 mark. Now, just like last week, it was in a tight consolidation until it finally broke out, and it broke through that resistance of 536, hit highs up here at 543. It was in a tight consolidation in the last 2 weeks, and here it is now breaking out to test new highs, and it isn't the only stock pushing up. You have the QQQ here under a bull indicator since Friday as well at 476, but a bear indicator has popped up at 484. I would not ignore this because it needs a bull indicator to justify any further move to the upside and for inflows to follow, which we're going to pull up in just a moment. And then you also have here a bear indicator, right, under 187 popping up and doing a full transition on Tesla from the rip area to the dip area, and then you have Apple here doing the same thing. So individual stocks are pulling downwards while the QQQ in the SPY is going higher, right? A bear indicator here at 218, full transition from the rip area to the dip area, and at key support levels here based off yesterday's opening, and it's something to not ignore here going into tomorrow. I will be watching these levels closely on Tesla and Apple. Now, on the SPY, when you zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, you could see a bull indicator here holding strong at 542. It was support yesterday, and here it is still holding and hitting multiple bright green bars. We're going to pull up the inflows in just a moment to see if it justifies this move, and it needs to stay above the midpoint to justify any further move to the upside. Now, when we go ahead and zoom into the volatility of the 15-minute, we could see here a bull indicator since yesterday at 542.50, holding strong through the volatility and tight consolidation today at 546 and 548. No bear indicator in the process, just continuing to try and hold and test higher levels. Now, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflows and break down the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. Here we are with the SPY stock, the SP500 index, with inflows staying above the midpoint. We talked about how crucial this was on the 30-minute with this sharp drop of outflows, but the reason why the chart didn't completely collapse is because those outflows never crossed the midpoint and needed to switch from red to green to justify any move to the upside, and you could see it there finding support and pushing back up above 547. It even hit it twice, right, in the pre-market and the middle of the day, before pulling up higher, and inflow switched from red to green, and they've hit highs here of 1.92. Now it needs to continue pushing higher to the upside and away from the midpoint to justify any move to the upside on the charts. So I will be watching that very closely going into tomorrow and the rest of these after hours. Now, inflows are above, and they need to stay above to justify these moves. Now, on the 1 hour chart, same thing. It was going downward sharply. It was red. It needed to switch from red to green and stay above the midpoint. And here we are with inflows of 3.49 on the 1 hour chart. And it needs to continue pushing up higher so that it could go ahead and reflect that possible strength into these charts. Now, when we zoom into the volatility of the 15-minute, we could see here the chop, how many times these outflows tried to dominate. Every time it was pulled downwards, and it found support to stay above 547, that 546.50 range, those inflows would pick back up. Now, here in the after hours, outflows have slightly began, and it's going to be crucial to not ignore this, because if it crosses to the downside, it could quickly start to reflect that weakness into these charts. We have a divergence though. The chart is trying to go higher while outflows are starting to begin, but it has not crossed the midpoint. It needs to cross the midpoint to reflect any of that strength of weakness into the charts. And if it rolls it over into the 30-minute, pulling it downwards, switching from green to red, the first support I'll be watching is 547. Then below that comes 545. And then I'll be watching the 543 level if these outflows start to dominate significantly here on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the 1 hour. Now, to the upside, it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows to switch from red to green on the 15-minute. Continue this staircase effect here so far. Going into tomorrow, roll the strength over into the 30-minute and 1 hour. And the first resistance is 549 to 550. And if both of those get broken through, then I'll be watching the 552 level. So these are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial, and the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them as they're fighting to stay above here and brought themselves back up from red to green on the 30-minute and 1 hour, and on the 15-minute, it's right there near the midpoint and currently red. It needs to switch to green to justify any move to the upside and retest of any resistance levels. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.